I've watched a bit of First Dates, actually. I quite like that show.
Lovely to speak to you over Zoom, Henry, about Enola Holmes. There's a scene in the movie where Enola says to go undercover, you have to go as something unexpected. And I wondered, is there anything about you that is unexpected that when people find out, they're really surprised?
Oh, that's a good question. And I think that's entirely relative, really. I think, it depends on what people think of me. Like, what do you think of me?
I imagine that you're very disciplined and always healthy eating.
You'd be surprised to learn that I'm not always very disciplined and I don't always eat healthily. In my free time, I'm the guy who, when I order like Chinese takeaway, they say, and for how many people is this? 6? And I say, no, just 1. It's okay. And I will eat that throughout the day and then maybe order a pizza or a curry later as well. And that's from the night before where I drank nothing but pints and Jack Daniels. So yeah, I definitely go free when I go free.
I'm really shocked about that. Is Chinese your go-to takeaway then?
Nope, there is no go-to takeaway. They all count.
I'm presently on the way to collect my brothers, Mycroft and Sherlock. Yes, Sherlock Holmes. The famous detective, my genius brother. He will have all the answers.
Enola.
And I spoke to Sam Claflin yesterday, who said that when you, Millie Bobby Brown and him were in the makeup chair, Millie would always be trying to convince you to watch Love Island. And I wondered whether you were persuaded at all to give it a go.
No. I was not. I didn't need to. I mean, Millie was there telling me everything that happened anyway, so I just had to wait for the next episode of Millie and then I would know what happened on Love Island.
Do you watch any reality TV shows?
I've watched a bit of First Dates, actually. I quite like that show.
I find with First Dates, it always makes me cry. And I think that's why I like it, because there's always like the really sad story.
We all love stuff that makes us cry. But then there's some good stories in there too, which is nice. I just find it fascinating to see how people interact and you see how people are on dates and how they react to each other's mess-ups and how forgiving people are. I think it's really important, that forgiveness aspect of it. When someone says something really stupid on a first date because they're nervous, and you just think, how are they going to react? And you see these wonderful people who just go, yeah, okay, I'm going to chalk that up to them being nervous. And that's really nice to see. I like to see that stuff.
Also, I love Fred, the maitre d'. I think he
Yes,
is the most
amazing.
charming man.
The whole crew, all of them, all of the staff who worked there, just fantastic.
Woman brought up a wild child who will make her acceptable for society.
She seems intelligent.
And also working with Millie as well, she's incredible in the film. Did you find anything unexpected about her from working with her?
I mean, I always expected Millie to be quite a big personality because she's so good at what she does, but she's extremely charismatic. And yes, she's a young woman, she's 16 years old, but there are times when you're talking to her and the stuff that's coming out of her mouth, you think, you sound like someone in their 30s. And then she'll suddenly revert back to a 16-year-old and start harassing me about Love Island, and then go back to something else. And it's remarkable to watch and see, and she's an absolute powerhouse, and she's going to have a massive impact on this industry.
It is time to find my mother. The game is afoot.
And in the film, Enola's mum leaves clues which are very personal to herself around for Enola to track her down, like things in certain flowers and word games. And if someone was trying to track you down, what sort of items, which are very personal to you, would you leave around?
I think it would be through... I read a lot of fantasy books, and so I would leave the codes and the clues in there, I think, because I think fantasy characters are extraordinarily remarkable in the way that they are these larger-than-life characters in incredible situations, but they're actually wonderful moral compasses for us. And so I think, especially if it was my son or my daughter who was trying to find me, I would have imparted a lot of those characters and a lot of those book stories onto them. And so it would be, the clues would lie in there, I think.
I must become something unexpected.
And in the film as well, Enola goes around a lot incognito in disguises so she's not found out. Have you ever been recognised and mistaken to be someone else?
Sometimes, actually it hasn't really happened in a while, but a lot of people hand me this. There's one particular photo of Matt Bomer, which people want me to keep on signing, And I think it's him lying in the water, and he's half submerged. He's lying on his side, and people keep on handing that to me. I'm like, I would love to sign this for you, but that's not me. And I'll sign it because anyway. But just so you know, that's Matt. There is some facial structure similarities for sure.
Perhaps she wants to change the world.
Perhaps it's a world that needs changing.
And I think the modern day detective work is sort of tracking people down online, social media stalking and finding stuff out about people. Do you ever have a bit of a social media stalk? Are you good at finding out stuff about people online?
Wow, you just reeled your cards there.
I definitely have.
Yeah. So who are you stalking? That's what I want to know. I think there is something to social media stalking, but it's really simple, really basic. You can tell a lot about someone via their page. If their page is mostly photos of themselves, and that's really it. It's like, this is me in Hawaii, and you can see about that much of Hawaii on the side of their face. Then you're going, okay, well that's revealing about what you find important on your social media. But on the reverse is, if their account is private, then that's a really good sign in my eyes. It's always a good sign.
I'm coming to find you, Mother.
And my last question is, everyone is so excited for Enola Holmes to come out on Netflix. My boss's 9-year-old daughter is, my 27-year-old sister is. Another thing everyone's so excited to come out on Netflix is The Witcher 2, and I know you've gone back to filming. How does it feel to be back?
It's great. It's great. Really enjoying it. It's telling fantasy stories is the thing I love to do. And I'm the crazy law loyalist who's all about the details and probably frustrating the bejesus out of everyone by saying, yeah, but what about this? And what about this bit? And but he can do this. And everyone's going, hey, just do the thing. Henry, just do the thing. And I'm like, okay, fine, I'll do the thing. But you do realize he can do this. And I enjoy that aspect of the storytelling. I enjoy getting into it. I enjoy being that person who's always about the details. And it's good to be working, you know? A lot of us don't have that luxury. A lot of us don't have that option. It is different. We're all wearing face masks, so it's very difficult to identify who people are on set, first of all. And I'm happy to be out. I'm happy to be working, and happy to be storytelling.